Welcome to Living Abundantly with Sarah V. I am so grateful to be here with all of you today. At Living Abundantly, we believe true manifestation begins within. That's why each inspiring guest shares their powerful story and remarkable vision. If they can do it, so can you. I am your host and friend, Sarah V., an international 3-time best-selling author and lifestyle design expert. And I am on a personal mission to inspire abundance through all of life's ups and even the downs. And what I love most is that I get to meet such dynamic guests, being the host of the show. Like our first guest today, Jen Fesler. Jen Fesler is a TV, radio, and lifestyle personality best known for her breakout role on Bravo's The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Since then, she has become a familiar face and voice across multiple platforms. When she's not in front of the camera or behind the mic, Jen is diving into her many passions. Most recently, Jen was named the brand ambassador with the Avenue at the American Dream, where Jen encourages women to live abundantly and practice self-care days on their own terms. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Sounds like you are on a really abundant journey.
Yeah, it feels like I am as well.
So how has your life changed since becoming a TV star? I'm going to say, one, as a woman, and secondly, a woman in her 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't feel like a TV star necessarily.
Yeah.
Maybe TV personality, a small little TV personality, but still that's more than I was ever expecting to be
Right.
at age 53 when the Housewives of New Jersey came a-knockin'.
Right.
So at age 53, really no one was knocking, which was fine. I had my own thing going on. I had my own business, and I was a mother. I am a mother of 2, and I'm married, and I have a husband and a life and friends. But this sort of adventure I never could have pictured. And I went down this crazy trail, and I've been on this crazy journey, and I'm very grateful for it because I've been able to, I guess, maybe sort of reinvent myself in a way that I didn't even know that I could.
So, I'm sure you will agree that self-care is part of living abundantly. People don't make that connection. So tell us about your partnership with the Avenue and how you encourage women to take self-care days. I love that.
Well, I mean, I think women, everybody defines self-care differently, right?
Yes.
Like what that looks like for you is probably different than what it looks like for me.
Right.
But what it looks like for me is doing the things that I love to do. And so the things that make me feel good, the things that feel maybe even indulgent. So I, for instance, love to shop. I am a self-proclaimed fashionista. I'm sure many people will not agree that I'm a fashionista, but I like to tell myself that I am.
Yeah.
And I have always been a huge lover of fashion. So for me, just shopping in and of itself has always just kind of been a joy. So now that I am the ambassador at the Avenue is part of the American Dream experience. The American Dream, by the way, is, some may call it a mall, but we call it an experience because there's so much going on there. It's in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And
I've been there.
You have? Okay. Have you been to American Dream?
I don't think so.
Well, please, you'll have to come.
Oh, yes, I would love to.
Because there's so much going on there. It's the part that I'm working with the Avenue is the part of the experience that is very luxurious, the high-end shops. There's a champagne and caviar bar called Isabella, which is so decadent. And there is a restaurant called Carpaccio's, which is, very famous and is delicious. And then there's also the Gucci of it all and the Alexander Wang of it all.
Well, I think what I'm hearing is that your point is like, do what brings you joy.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter whether it's shopping or exercising or meditating, whatever it is, like do what brings you joy.
I like, yes.
That I was able to do that. I'm like, my mentor said, oh, well, just do what brings you joy. I'm like, I can do that. And that, I love the fact that you've connected joy and self-care
Yeah,
together.
interesting.
It's
Yeah, I haven't thought of it that way,
it's
but
a
yes.
beautiful connection rather than you thinking of self-care, well, take a bath or,
No, in my mind, self-care is laying in bed and watching Netflix.
Yeah.
That's self-care.
And why
Yeah.
is that?
I don't apologize for that ever. Like that to me.
Yes.
And shopping for me is it's just fun. It's something that I am feel passionate about. And not all the things that I feel passionate about are always even healthy, let's say physically, but I think they're still self-care.
Well,
So I think
it's indulgence and
yeah,
we were
chocolate
talking about
and
it
red wine are
before,
self-care
right?
for me. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, not sorry.
Don't sorry. Yeah. So as we wrap here, what would you say? I always love this question. But what would you say is one abundant word in that you use perhaps in your life that describes how you live right now? Not to put you on the spot, but
No, it's not. I don't know.
and it doesn't have to be. I'm now gonna have to change it to word to phrase.
I mean, I think that I am very, I don't know, I'm very self-deprecating and I like to laugh at myself. I like to laugh. I like to laugh at myself. And I like to see myself in ways that are very much less than serious. And I think that's part, I'm very proud of that I can,
not
look
take
at
yourself so seriously.
I don't take myself very seriously. I'm a hot mess most of the time, and I describe myself that way. And I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to, for people to know that about me. That I'm just trying to figure it out at age 56.
Yes. Oh, well, I really so appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your wisdom and your self-care by doing the things that bring you joy. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Stay with us. We will be right back. New and older self-love.
I'm not sure if I was supposed to put like anything else in.
My goal is to bring laughter to everybody.
Listen, a lot of times when people hear the word disability, they have a negative connotation to it due to the stigma.
Yes.
I'm out here showing people, listen, look at how fabulous I am. This could be you. Is that no matter who you are, you can make the best of your life.
Oh my gosh, I am so thrilled to welcome my next guest, Ray-Ray McCloud III. He is more than just an NFL wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons. From electrifying the field of Super Bowl 58 to dropping music and leading his own record label, Legend Tribe, Ray-Ray is taking over sports, music, and fashion. He's living proof that the grind never stops. Oh my God, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome.
I love the intro.
Oh, there you go. So I just want to say you literally are a force to be reckoned with. Amazing. So your energy is really huge. So yeah, you're welcome. So like many sports, becoming mentally fit, I love that, is absolutely essential, not just in sports, but really in life. When we are on this journey of success. So what are some of your top tips, I'm on the edge of my seat, that has helped you become mentally fit to climb to your success and fame?
Mentally, working out is just something that everybody should have in their toolbox.
Working out, I mean, exercise, movement, right?
I feel like just that part of it is a mental release.
Right.
And a lot of people, like, I would say, because I see it every day, like after sports, they forget that they've been doing that their whole life. And your body is creature habits. If you're doing something for so long and just stop, your body doesn't know how to react. So emotions, you act out differently. Yeah. You have nowhere to put those emotions at. And that's what a lot of people play sports. That's an outlet.
Is that kind of part of your morning routine, that sets you up for the rest of your day? The whole, exercise, keeping your, all those things that you just mentioned?
Of course. I mean, every day I wake up, I make my bed first.
Yes.
Like I can't. Like if I'm running late, like
isn't that funny?
I'm gonna be extra late. I gotta make my bed, or the day gonna be. I'm already late as one. It's gonna be even worse if I don't make my bed.
Oh my God!
I have to make my bed because then
Yes.
and I love coming home and the bed's just laid out and I can just jump on it. But no, make my bed.
Make your bed. Yes.
Set daily intentions.
Yep.
And just manifest and pray for me. I feel like
Yes.
manifestation is big. It's really got bigger these past few years. My dad harping it so much.
Mm.
And it's got big, just seeing my vision. And I always had a vision since I've been a little kid.
Right.
I got nipped in the butt a few times for having so many passions, you know, and playing sports.
Right.
But when everything get aligned and everything's just going as is and God has the red carpet for you,
Yes.
can't nobody stop what he got for you. So
God has the red carpet for you. Yes. I love that. So before we wrap here, a little birdie told me that you're going to be starring in a major feature film. I know maybe you can't talk about it, but can you just talk a little bit about it, or is it really just a secret? You don't have to, whatever you want to share. It's a secret.
I really want to talk about it.
Okay.
But, you know, I know how the game works. You know, right now I'm just honored and blessed to even be part of it.
Yeah, beautiful.
And it's something.
So we can say stay tuned, right?
Stay tuned, and you be. I would love to come back and talk about.
Oh, I would. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
But definitely,
yeah.
Again, that's just another part of my life where like I feel like a rookie again.
Yeah.
And it's just
we got to.
I get butterflies. Yeah. And something I always wanted to do. I just had to, like I said, I had to get everything aligned in my main craft.
Yeah.
And I can do other passions and create other avenues for myself.
Maybe this is going to be your career. I don't know. So
that's what I want to do.
I love that. So I have never had a football player in the studio talking about abundance. So you're going to be my first little guinea pig here. But what would you say is one abundant word that describes your life right now?
A phrase?
Your abundant phrase or a word that best describes.
Not a phrase.
Okay, go ahead.
Remember when your mom said, "Don't eat with your mouth open"?
Remember what your mom says, don't eat with your mouth open. Right?
Right.
Did I get it? Yes.
Yep. And that goes for your life.
That goes for
when you eat and close your mouth. Everybody's not made for that same blessing.
Jeez. Mic drop. Yeah. Love that. Oh God, that's I'm going to have to completely change this up. So, wow. So it has been so great having you here on the show.
Yes,
Thank you so much for taking time to coming on today.
I appreciate you having me.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
my pleasure. I'm going to read up on my football stats. So stay tuned. We will be right back after a short break. When we talk about abundant living, travel becomes a key part of the journey, opening our hearts and minds to new cultures, perspectives, and unforgettable experiences. Travel has been such a huge part of my life. My next guest, Nick Ewen, is Director of Content at The Points Guy and was one of the site's first contributors in 2012. He's visited 51 countries and counting, and has taken his 7-year-old daughter to 24 of them, largely using points, miles, and credit cards. He helps his followers do the same, and he joins us now to help us travel abundantly. Nick, welcome to the show. I am on the edge of my chair to hear more of your wisdom.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Travel is a huge part of my life, not just professionally, but also personally. And it's really helped me and my wife and daughter experience the world at a fraction of the cost, thanks to credit cards and points and miles.
100%. But, I didn't even know that using points was a thing years ago, but now I do. And for someone not earning points and miles, why would you say they should start?
Well, getting started is really a way to get more out of the things that you are already doing, the things that you are doing on a daily basis, whether it's your utility bills, your grocery bills, or the trips that you're already taking. These airline loyalty programs, the big hotel chains, they're all free to join. So I like to think of not getting your feet in the game. You're essentially leaving money on the table because those rewards translate to future experiences and the chance to make memories, whether it's with a loved one, with your family members, or with your close friends, or if you're a solo traveler and you want to get out there and explore the world on your own.
Right, right. So what would you say, what are some straightforward things that we can do today to either get started or, upgrade your credit card game?
Well, one of the first things that I always recommend is if you are wanting to kind of take your game to that next level, is start by looking at the credit card or credit cards that you currently have, or if you don't have any, you're using a debit card or paying in cash. Analyze how you're spending your money. Are you someone who loves dining out? Do you prefer cooking at home and you have large grocery bills? Do you have a small business where you're spending in a certain category of purchases? There are many credit cards out there that offer 2, 3, even 5 points per dollar spent on different categories of purchasing. And in some cases, you can actually double or quadruple the amount of rewards you can earn just by changing to a new credit card. And if you have an existing credit card or even with a new one that you get, many of these issuers offer a variety of different discounts for purchases you may already be making. So if you currently have, for example, a Chase credit card or an American Express card, log into your accounts and look for the offers section. You actually may be able to save money on things like your streaming subscriptions, sometimes your travel purchases, or even your everyday shopping purchases. So there's some really concrete things that you can do to really take your game to the next step.
What about, what are some ways that people can travel more meaningfully? We don't really think about that when we travel.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, even just in the last few years, this whole idea of responsible tourism has really sprung up. A lot of destinations are dealing with a lot of crowding, and locals are really having that kind of reaction to it. So we've seen a lot of interesting developments to drive more service-oriented tourism. One of the interesting ones that I always like to think of is Malama, Hawaii, which is in the Hawaiian Islands, where you can actually, when you're visiting this phenomenal vacation destination, some cases you can get a free hotel night or even a discount by participating in an on-island volunteer activity. So really encourage all of your viewers, your listeners, to take a look at your upcoming trips and see if you can find a way to give back to the local community and engage in that really responsible tourism, because that can really help it be more meaningful for you, but also truly have an impact on the destination you're visiting.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I create my own meaningful travel is I always make sure that the hotels are eco-friendly and that they sustainable and they don't use a lot of plastics and things. So that's one of my contributions. Is that what you also mean as well?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely encourage you to take advantage of things like carbon offsets if you're traveling with an airline, and then really investigating staying at some of these boutique properties that have a commitment to the community. Everyone loves a big mega resort in certain scenarios, but I personally prefer trying to stay more local and really leaning into a more boutique places, or even vacation rentals from a local. We've had great experiences with interacting with locals by renting with a reputable tourism company, and then being able to give back to the community. It's such an important part and often overlooked part of travel.
So as we wrap here, what would you say? I always like asking this last question, but what is one abundant word or phrase to describe, your life and your work, today?
I mean, I think the big thing that comes up for me is just fascination. I am utterly fascinated with the fact that we live in this globally connected world, but at the same times often tend towards isolation. And I am always fascinating visiting new countries. In fact, I'm heading to my next new country tomorrow, heading to South America, to Colombia. And I'm just fascinated by all of the things that we are going to be able to do. And it remains an endless fascination to me that points and miles and credit cards can help facilitate making these really meaningful memories with your family members, with your loved ones, or connecting with yourself as a solo traveler. So I just absolutely love it.
So fascination, yes, I find the fascination in travel as well. So thank you so much for coming in and sharing all your wisdom with us today. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you so much for having me.
We will be right back, so don't go away. What do you think readers can expect next?
This first book is about creating inner wisdom for financial success. So it's
Toothpillow solves for access, because when a parent starts to look for attention for their child who's mouth breathing, what we did with Toothpillow was build a model to treat the children remotely.
Can you get a little bit deeper into perhaps what's in the book?
So the menstrual phase is like our inner winter time. So kind of think of that. What would you like?
One of my many favorite things is home design and decor. I am in the midst of a remodel. As we sit here today, I cannot wait to speak to my next guest and hear about her abundant ideas about furniture and design. Jerri Hobdy is a Denver-based furniture and lighting designer whose journey began in Houston, Texas. After graduating from SCAD, she cut her teeth at Wisteria, then helped shape Anthropologie's signature style. Now running her own studio, Jerri collaborates with top global brands and leads her sustainable design label, Mino. I am so thrilled you are here. And I want to add, sitting in these absolutely gorgeous chairs designed by you, incredible. So thank you for that.
of course.
And now you have worked with numerous big brands such as Anthropologie Home. How hard has your road been to get where you are? I'm always so fascinated about the journey too.
That's actually a really cool question. So I started out as a painter and so I was actually doing oil painting. That was my first love. And I went to art school, to do that whole thing. And then I actually discovered furniture design and I was so enamored with it. I felt like this is sculpture you can live with every single day.
Sculpture
changed.
You can live with. I love that.
Yeah. And actually be in, right? Like furniture touches us more intimately than most people do. So like that. Yep. So there is just so much interaction on the human scale there. And I was so drawn to that. And so changed my major, actually got a major in furniture design, which is kind of rare. And from SCAD, and then was catapulted immediately into the design industry through a wonderful internship with Curry & Company. And that's sort of where it began. It's a lot of, it's a small industry. So it's really just meeting the right people and doing your best work and kind of going from there. So
I love that. So, as I said in your intro, you have, an ever expanding pursuit of sustainable practices for furnishing, not just designing a piece of furniture, but, sustainable living. So I am, and we talked about a little bit about before we went on air, but I'm so curious to understand what I've never heard it in furniture. I've heard it in food and water, and, but can you tell me about, I think you call it the 30 days to 30K project?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So just quickly, high level, I'll tell you a little bit of a lead up to this. So started designing furniture, very lucky to get some amazing roles early on. Was getting a lot of product into the marketplace, and I was just not quite satisfied with designing more pretty things. And so I kind of started asking myself the question, is there more to this? And that's where sustainability started to bubble up. What are the materials that we're actually using? What are the manufacturing processes and their, ripple effect? And so when I started sort of asking myself those questions, that's really what started to lead me towards more sustainable practices. So long story short, that was sort of the, inception. The 30-day 30K Eco Design Challenge is actually something that kind of came about on accident. So that is in partnership with the Good Future Design Alliance, which works with interior designers and architects to help them implement more sustainable practices. And I actually did a renovation last October, and it was a whole home in Denver, and it was a craftsman home. And I was like, you know, I'm so invested in helping manufacturers green up or clean up their supply chains. Can I take this to the built environment and do it like in an entire home, not just the furniture, right? So I challenged myself with that. I'm not an interior designer. And I just said, okay, how do I apply some of these principles of low waste, low toxin, low carbon? So it was a total like self-challenge learning experiment. And I kind of recorded it, shared it on Instagram, and I don't have a huge following, but it was received really, really well. And the GFDA approached me about partnering on a national design challenge. And so we're launching that later this year. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and basically it's just to have it be a fun, you know, progress, not perfection place for interior designers to, or even just DIYers, like you could do this challenge to learn how to reduce the waste in their projects and the things that they're specifying.
I love that.
Yeah.
So can you tell, I know you have your own label.
I do. Yeah.
So can you tell our viewers, you know, a little bit about your company and actually what was the inspiration, you know, that helped you create it? Because I do want you to talk about the chairs for a second, but let's talk about, you know, what is it? So
Minot's mission is basically to bring together innovation and industry, the industry being furniture. And we are all about reducing, like I said, the waste, toxins, and carbon of the furniture industry, which sounds kind of silly if you don't know what that means relative to furniture. So the way that I tell people to think about it is we all know how bad apparel is, right? We've heard fast fashion. If you think about the furniture industry, it is like we have closets for our clothes. We have homes for our furniture. So that metaphor for scale is how we're helping people understand like how big and how bad the furniture industry actually is. We produce 3 million more tons estimated of waste just in the US alone every year that goes to landfills. That doesn't include packaging. That's just discarded furniture, you know, when people move or what have you.
You just don't think about that.
I know. And you really shouldn't have to. That's why I'm working with the industry to green it up and clean it up, because we want to make sure that better options just make it to the end consumer, so you aren't having to like know all of this stuff, you know, that I'm a nerd about. Right.
So really quick, just tell the viewers what this actual beautiful chair is made of.
Yeah. So this chair was originally designed by Edward J. Wormley. Minot has reissued a collection of his iconic designs with Dunbar Furniture. So this chair is upholstered in a velvet that is made out of recycled sea litter plastic.
Sea litter plastic.
So plastic bottles from the ocean, all that stuff you see, you know, the news about, that was literally captured and turned into a textile, actually here in the United States, which is also very rare.
Amazing. Yeah. You know, as we wrap here, as I kind of snuggle in this absolutely fabulous chair, I wanted to ask my favorite question. What would you say is one abundant word that best describes your life right now? Or you can use a phrase. And now I have to change it to a phrase.
Stewardship.
Stewardship.
Yeah.
Wow. And why that?
I feel like I was given a gift for design, and when you feel as though you have something like that, you have to steward it. And so the more I've learned about manufacturing and what goes into people's homes and what happens through my own hand and design has challenged me to be a better steward of those gifts, the materials, the whole process.
You are the leader. I'm totally, I mean, I'm doing my whole renovation. So these are fabulous.
We'll keep chatting. We can get some good non-toxic stuff in there.
And thank you so much for coming in and sharing your gorgeous, creative abundance with all of us. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Before we wrap, something came for us in the mail from YouTube today. And I am so grateful to every one of you for helping us hit over, drumroll, 100,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. This has been a labor of love, and from our Living Abundantly family to yours, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching.
The proceeding was sponsored by Sarah V. LLC.